This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am having a lot of fun watching the Houston Astros these days, as it was another fun-filled Friday night at Minute Maid. I did it at the ballpark that's powered by air conditioners as they take down the Chicago Cubs tonight by a final of 7-4 on a return for Kyle Tucker and Ryan Presley to Houston. It was the Astros' new star in Cam Smith stealing the spotlight, the man that came in return from the Chicago Cubs. Hello and welcome tonight to the Locked On Astros Postcast. Following another win for the Astros, 49-33 now on the season of the Astros. 16 games over 500, a season high for this ball club. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. All right. Or excuse me, Locked On MLB for your first purchase. I did the NFL show earlier tonight. I've got the NFL on the brain still. Astros, though, well, we should really have the brain on because this team continues to do it. And they do it in all ways, shapes, forms, and whatever it is. What is it that you're walking away from this one talking about more than anything else?
This is what you'll be talking about.
The number one thing that you're talking about is the fact that this team is, first of all, feeling themselves. And they're playing like that every single time that they go out there. I mean, what they have done in this month of June has been absolutely amazing. They are now in the month of June 18-6. Not that they were having a horrific season, but it was just an average-ish season before this month. And it takes one calendar month that shows you can take one calendar month and you can get red hot and you can play your best baseball and you can get out there and you can pad your cushion over 500. You can pad your lead in the division, whatever it might be. And that is where the Houston Astros are going. They're going in the right direction for all of it. And I think the most impressive thing, we talked about this the other night. We talked about this yesterday, actually. You go look at records against teams with a record of 500 or better. The Astros are now 30-21. They have the most wins in baseball against teams with a record that is 500 or better. So it's not like they're just slapping around the bad teams. They're beating everybody right now. Okay, yeah, we talked about it the other day. Are they the most consistent offense that this Astros franchise has ever had? No. That's okay. Not always going to be that way, which, by the way, we're keeping an eye on it at this moment as we're doing this show live. Rangers and Mariners are tied at 5-5. Best case for the Astros, the Mariners lose, and the Rangers don't gain any ground, but they go back to 500 if they win. And the Mariners would be one game over 500. The Astros lead in the division would grow to 7.5 games on the season. Astros now 31-13 at home, by the way. But like I mentioned, the thing that you just walk out of this one is that this team is feeling themselves. They are playing like a first-place team every day. And they are doing it in different ways all the time. And that's the sign of a good baseball team. Tomorrow they go for their 50th win. There are only two of the teams in this league. Right now they have 50 wins in the season. They would join if they get it tomorrow. The Tigers, who are already at 51, I believe, and the Dodgers are both at 51. Astros are right there for the best record in baseball. It's crazy talk when you think about some of the early issues or the early concerns that you might have had for this baseball team this season. Here we are. Who'd have thought it? A lot of you probably. Good for you. I'm happy. Yeah, I was a little skeptical early in the season. I saw some things. I was like, this stinks. The only bad thing out of the game tonight, and we'll see if there's anything said live while we're doing this show. I'll tell you what is said. Obviously, Jeremy Pena left the game with what they called rib soreness after getting hit by a pitch. It was about a 90-mile-an-hour changeup, hit him in the ribs. Hopefully nothing is wrong. I mean, there'll be bad thing to lose him, your best player this season, without a doubt. Don't need that on top of what you've already dealt with injury-wise this season. So we'll keep an eye on it. Again, I haven't seen anything posted yet, and Joe Espada probably hasn't spoken to the media yet, so we'll see if there is any kind of update before we're done with this show tonight. The other thing that you're talking about from this one is the fact that Cam Smith tonight, I think he's a young guy, and even though he never played big leagues for the Cubs, you get traded less than a year after being drafted. Of course, there's going to be some emotion to it. Of course, you're going to want to go out there in the first game that you've played against them for a team that traded for you and didn't even send you to the minor leagues. You played 32 games in the minors for the Cubs. The Astros just said, we're starting you in right field from day one, buddy, after you had a great spring. A franchise that really clearly liked you going into the draft in the Astros, couldn't get their hands on you, and finally did, and has got all the faith in the world in you. And he delivered tonight. What a cool moment. First of all, great to see Kyle Tucker get the ovation that he deserves. And the Ryan Presley acknowledgement as well. Both those guys deserved a great welcome back to Houston, because both of those guys are so etched into Astros history for what they did and helped bring a World Series to the city of Houston. It's really cool, though, to see that the new kid, the new star that's going to come out of this, it's going to play right field every day for the Astros for hopefully longer than Kyle Tucker did. Be nice. I'm going to keep pounding that door, like, go get extensions done while they're young. Cam Smith should be the number one priority this offseason is buying out some free agent years, getting him locked in. Let's go. 6th home run of the season. This guy's hit over 300 in the last 30 days. The power's been a little bit slower to get there than you would have expected, but he's a rookie. And, if he hits 15 home runs this year, so what? This is going to be a guy that's going to have 30 homer power at his bat. This is a guy that's going to be, carrying himself, I think with everything that you want out of a superstar type of player and being a leader of your team down the road. He was absolutely phenomenal. Tonight, he's been, I think, a lot better as the season has moved along, and I've just been impressed with how he's handled all of it. Because, look, early in the season, I was kind of, man, are they rushing him? You're going to want to send him back down at some point to let him get a little bit more seasoning, whatever it might be. And to his credit, he just kept playing. And there's never really been that issue. And that issue just kind of, from the standpoint of can he handle the moment, went away. And he's looked great. He's looked absolutely fantastic. Big moment tonight, and you love to see it for a player that is growing right in front of your eyes. See what he's got for an encore tomorrow night. The whole weekend's going to be electric. And this week has been an electric one for the Astros so far, because they knocked off the Phillies by allowing them to score 1 run across 3 games to start this homestand. I didn't think about it. Really. Like, when this homestand started, you can be honest. You're probably a little worried that, the good times are going to come to an end. You're playing 2 of the best teams in baseball coming in. The Cubs have an electric offense. And the Astros are 4 games into this homestand. They've secured a winning homestand. And they've taken all 4 of the first 4 games. It's awesome. Maybe it's time to completely buy in that. I know a lot of you were, but I had my doubts. Again, I had my doubts on certain things. I don't have much reason to doubt anything anymore. The way that they're playing, the way that they pitch every night, they can beat just about anybody. Speaking of pitching, the guy that pitched tonight, really good. He's been really good in every start but one. Let's talk about him. Take a look ahead to tomorrow's game as well here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. First up, though, before we get to the discussion on the pitching, you ever sit around and go, let's go last minute to a ball game with your friends or your family? Well, maybe it's even game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. Gametime makes buying tickets simple and fast. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Gametime is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for an exciting game coming up, even tomorrow, between the Astros and the Cubs. Gametime has those last-minute ticket deals and zone deals for big savings, like 10% off exclusive zone deals for FIFA Club World Cup matchups. Take the guesswork out of buying with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Astros winners again tonight over the Chicago Cubs this time around. Hey, speaking of the Astros, the team that they just walloped for 3 days in terms of pitching, could not score a run against them. The Phillies, they're down in Atlanta. They've scored 11 tonight. Baseball's a weird sport, man. Gotta love it. Astros, though, tonight, they're able, I think one of the important things, now look, they did have to bring Josh Hader in. They didn't have to bring Josh Hader in. They brought Josh Hader in the ninth to secure the 3-run, 1-out save to pick up his 22nd of the season. That was nice of Joe Espada to put him in there. Hopefully it doesn't hurt his availability for the rest of the week, and it probably will. But, tonight they were able to get through this game using really only one other reliever that's, I say that, to the two other guys, Okert and Sousa are pretty, important. I wonder how long the leash is going to be on Ort. He's been horrible, to be honest with you. I'm not really enjoying watching him. If they have another option at some point to replace him, he's pitched like the guy that has pitched, every time he's had a big league opportunity other than last year. He's pitched horribly. There's just no other way around it. He throws hard. There's a lot of guys that throw hard, though, but he walks too many. He gives up a ton of hits. And it's just been bad. So we'll see how much longer the leash is on Caleb Ort out of the bullpen. But the other guys, Okert was good. You get Sousa to go he was trying to get 2 out of it. Gives it the run there. But it is what it is. Overall, those guys were good. The guy that stood out tonight, of course, the guy in the rotation there, Brandon Walter. He's had the one bad start against the Angels in his last one. But everything else has been fantastic. I really, really like what we've seen out of him overall. I like the breaking stuff. He throws from such a funky arm angle. It makes life difficult on hitters to try and, dial it in. And the Astros have clearly, that was clearly something that the Astros have worked on, is just finding the right usage of your pitches. And it's what they do with a lot of guys. They're pretty good at it. And, I was talking about Caleb Ort. They kind of did it with Ort last year, but it's just not working so far this year out of the bullpen. But Walter's been great. It's been absolutely great. And you know what? I can't find a way to say that, if a time comes where somebody's got to miss a rotation spot or get knocked out of a rotation or go back down or whatever, I think Brandon Walter's got to stick around for a minute. I think of all the guys, I like all the guys. Colton Gordon fills up the strike zone. I think I'm most intrigued by Brandon Walter still. I think. Hey, who takes home the honor tonight for Player of the Game?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right. I have to give it to 2 guys. I can't just give it to one. I could give it to Brandon. Well, I could give it to 3, I guess. Should we go a tri-player of the game? Why not? We'll go Cam Smith, Yainer Diaz, and Brandon Walter. All guys fantastic tonight. Cam Smith, 2 for 2. Drives in 3 with a 3-run jack. Also got on base twice with 2 walks. Yainer Diaz on base 3 times, 3 for 4 with a 3-run jack. gives the Astros the other big bolt. And then, like I mentioned, Brandon Walter, 6 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, allowed the 1 home run. Another solid outing out of him. So those guys tonight, for me, are the players of the game. I feel like I have to acknowledge all 3 of them because they all played such a big role in this victory tonight. As the Astros go to 49-33. They'll do this again tomorrow night. Game 2 of this 3-game series. 6:15 first pitch. The Astros will hopefully, go out there and keep this thing going. They're looking for their 6th win in a row and a lot of wins in this month. For 19, win number 19 of June. June comes to an end on Sunday for them when it comes to playing games. So they got a chance to get it to 20 wins in the month of June. Guess what you got to do? Take the next 2 to get there. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow night when the game wraps up. I'll be live with you here for the Locked On Astros Postcast. Y'all have a great rest of your Friday night. Soak in the victory. We'll talk tomorrow after Astros